Welcome back once again, people. I appreciate you dropping by to have some more fun with Eric as we say goodbye to the old year and bring in the new. Today we're going to be reviewing what happened in Eric Land over 2023. So I put together a bunch of clips from the videos that I made over the last year. And as I like to say often, in Eric Land, we work before we play. We like to get things done before we have fun. Sometimes we actually have fun getting things done. That's why I like to include these project videos. Putting in the new walkway was a huge improvement. If you guys go back and watch the full videos, you'll understand why. Personally, it's fulfilling in a way to be able to track and observe the progress as I try to continually make improvements in my surroundings. And as far as the viewer goes, I'm hoping that you gain some inspiration, new ideas, and realize how good it feels to set out on a project, complete it, look back and see what you've done and feel good about it. And I was also able to take the Savvy out and discovered that it actually is a pretty decent rock crawler. Again, these project videos aren't so much for me to say, ooh, look what I've accomplished. Though it does feel good to accomplish things, I really do hope that someone out there is inspired to take on their own projects. Yes, you should go back and check out those project videos. I was able to go with a very good friend of mine to the sand dunes this year, and we timed it perfectly. We basically had the entire place to ourselves. Usually people don't like to play when the weather's a little bit uncomfortable. That's one of the benefits of living up here in Eric Land. I had to take out an old deck that was in the way of the multi-phase project that I'm currently in the middle of. It just was time to go. Oh yes, and then there was that hunting accident. This is the season where people start shooting at whatever there is out there in the woods. And that was kind of sad. There was one time where I brought you guys into my home and introduced you to one of my roommates. And this video to me was kind of amazing to watch how this plant went from near death to a total rebirth. We had to go out in the icy cold weather one day and do some crawling with the Traxxas TRX4, even though filming it was pretty miserable. I gotta tell you guys, when it gets cold around here, it gets really cold. I had to create a cargo carrier for both of the four-wheelers, but I'll let you guys in on that process. That made a huge improvement. So we try to make improvements along the way, and it feels good. If you want to help me out, one of the best things you can do is leave some comments. Let me know what you think. I made some time to get out to the skate park and try not to destroy one of the toys. I like to use the Traxxas Stampede for my bashing experiences. It has done really well for me over the years. More crawling with the TRX4. This particular video was without the snow. When I make these RC videos, I like to give you guys the best possible scenery that I can access. And for those of you who actually watch those RC videos, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't watch those RC videos, I think you should go back and check them out. I had the Losi LMT sitting on my shelf for quite a while before I could finally get an appropriate location. And it just so happened that it was in the middle of winter. It seemed like this video turned out pretty well. And for those of you who are familiar with this channel, you know that sometimes I will go way off the chain and try to tackle some very deep subjects. Every now and then I'm going to throw you guys a curveball just to see if you can hit it. Do I believe in God? Now, when I was thinking about how to approach this subject, I couldn't even think of a starting point. So I'm just gonna jump right in. A little bit of snow trailing with the TRX4. I like that video. It turned out pretty well. Also, continuing to speed through time. Had to have a new driveway put in this year and had no problem giving a lot of money to the professionals just so that it can get done right. And that made a huge improvement, and I must say it was well worth it. Sometimes I'll throw you guys a music video. For those of you who didn't know, I do like to make my own music. And some of these videos are dedicated specifically for that purpose. I put in a new patio where the old deck used to be as part of the multi-phase project that I am currently in the middle of. I repurposed a bunch of paver stones that were being used in other parts of the yard, and I think it turned out pretty well. You guys need to go check out those project videos. Get some inspiration, take on some projects, complete the projects and feel great about it. And every now and then when you have trees on your property, you have to maintain them. It's good health for the tree loves it, and it's good for the property in general. Pay the pros to get it done right. Now, another shelf queen that I had sitting on my shelf for a very long time was this special edition Chevy K10 from Axial. You guys need to go back and check out that. You'll probably like it if you haven't seen it already. Going to be a lot more of these to come. I did also discover that it crawls pretty well too. As we continue to speed through time, was the rock bouncing with the Axial Rift. You know how it is when you're playing with the RCs? You pretend, right? I mean, we pretend. That's what we do. We pretend we're driving some badass truck over some ridiculously difficult, treacherous terrain, crashing all over the place. We pretend, right? We like to have some fun. Now that video was a blast. As always, I appreciate you guys being part of the experience that is Fun with Eric. And as we speed through time together, we're gonna put the old year behind us because there it goes. But we got a brand new year coming up. We're gonna look forward to new projects, new crawling, new bashing, and just in general, a whole bunch of new fun. Once again, thanks for joining me on this little adventure, and I wanna wish everybody out there a happy new year. Forward we go.